Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm just outside our polytunnel and I just want to show you some of the problems that we're having because of our success. Basically we are producing more black soldier fly eggs and pupa than we know what to do with, and that creates some management problems. So let me just talk you through some of the challenges of being successful. My name's Tim and I co-founded this fish farm hub here in Uganda, and we use the maggots to feed the fish. Barrack's adding some of the... These are... How old are these hatchlings?
These are 9 days.
These are 9 days. And so he's just adding them in to some chicken manure. So this is a mixture of chicken droppings. There's some maize bran in there because chickens are very messy when they eat. So they're 9 days, and so they'll grow quite fat, and so they'll sit into this. They'll turn into this eventually. And then you can see on this one there's just a lot of maggots, different sizes, but this is what they'll turn into eventually. Have a look, see all these maggots, and then these maggots, the BSF, are very high in protein, and so we can feed them to animals. So
I'm going to mix them. I'm mixing them because I want to transfer them.
Okay, so how many days is this one?
This one is around 6 days.
6 days, 9 days, and you're putting them all together. Then we'll grow out the maggots and we'll use them for feed. So for us, we'll feed them to fish. But the ones in here are basically our surplus. We have some concrete bays behind this polytunnel, and we're just absolutely rammed full of maggots, which is a good problem to have. And we're going to expand our production site, but this is the type of thing you feed them. So they start off in a mixture of maize. So you see it goes quite hard because there's not much else in there. It's just maize and a bit of water, and then eventually you want to add some other substrate because they'll just get constipated. Essentially, they just eat maize. So this is the waste, and they'll burrow down. They'll digest it, turn this waste into good protein that we can use for to feed animals, and then those animals can feed humans. So that's sort of a circular economy approach where you're using waste and turning that into a resource, and that's what we're trying to do here. So Mubarak, what are you doing now?
So I'm trying to remove those ones that have remained. So if I put these ones, they will grow and come into this one. Then I'll come and collect this, add it on this one.
So being efficient and getting rid of all the maggots that will come in, they'll burrow into the substrate, and then make sure we're collecting everything that we have.
But the number that is remaining here is high, so I can't manage to lose all these.
Yeah.
So I want to make sure that I can get them back to the other ones.
Okay, very good. We can see Mubarak hatches them on, this is actually just cheap toilet paper. So it's quite, cheap. It's very weak and dissolves, breaks up very easily. So you put the eggs on it, and then the larvae, the hatchlings, can hatch out from the eggs, and then they can burrow into the substrate. So it works very well, and it's very easy to do.
We are planning through to make sure that they can feed on this substrate. Because if you try to check, the top part, top layer, this top layer is now
so they're eating the top.
It is having no nutrients.
Yeah.
So I want to make these ones, the one that is down, to come up so that they can also absorb all the nutrients.
So the food at the bottom, because it's at the bottom, there's less oxygen, and so they don't really want to go down into the base layers. So you're just mixing it, you're aerating it. There's a lot of ammonia coming up, and we can smell. So it makes your eyes water a bit. But that's all the gas that's sat at the bottom. Here goes as a good example. You see all that at the top, it's sort of been digested, and then at the bottom we have all the waste, and then just helps them. So part of your maintenance in every day should be, if you have BSF, you need to turn. So we have the concrete bays, we use a shovel, just turn it, mix it a bit, brings oxygen down to the bottom, and allows all the substrate to be digested. And then the other overproduction thing that we have going on is this. So we have so many flies in our love cages that we've had to improvise here, and this is just a sack full of chicken droppings, so it's attractants, it smells, and then on top we've got these bits of wood, so they're going to lay eggs on here. So any flies that hatch out of, we have buckets of pre-pupa lying around, they can just come here and lay eggs, because we just have too much, which is good. It's a good problem to have. We struggled for a while to get it right, but Mubarak's been a big part of the success, so thanks to him. They're very young, yeah?
Yeah, and then we have these ones that are old.
Yeah, you can see the difference in age.
That would be brought up by this one.
Yeah, sure.
So this one, if you use it to incubate again the eggs, then you'll have taken a lot of them inside here.
Sure.
So if you introduce it to another batch, then it will bring in more.
So you need to do a fresh piece of paper, yeah. So I mean, this is because of our overproduction, you can see that we're mixing different age groups of maggots in here, which is not what you want, because then you get different growth rates, and then if you're trying to collect your maggots or your BSF, you spend a long time doing that, and we're not trying to do that. But this is just a sign of success, really. What I've noticed here is the temperatures come up, and can you see all the flies moving around in this love cage as well? It's quite interesting to see. They're really buzzing because they like the heat, so they'll be starting to mate. The other problem you get with overproduction, and if you've got too many, is you see that we have eggs being laid in on the sides, and we've actually just collected a bunch of eggs, but essentially all the eggs are going to be laid on your wooden pieces. But if you have too many flies, they've got this gets filled up, and so they're like, well, we're going to lay somewhere, and they start laying all over the place. Like you can see them on the sides of the cage, and then underneath where it touches on the wood, they can smell attractant like this, because this is again overproduction problem. Got too many flies, so we're just letting some be here in the polytunnel. So they start laying down here because they can smell this, which is chicken droppings, so they start coming to lay here. So it's just it's amazing to me that we have these overproduction problems. We've got too much going on, and actually what it tells us that as a management point of view, what we need to do is expand our capacity. So we need some more love cages, so that we don't have so many flies inside, so they've got more places to lay. We need some more bays, so that we've got somewhere to put these maggots that are being stored. And then we can start to improve on things like our temperature. So at the moment, we just struggled to get temperature done correctly. Like these, we have 2 thermometers here, but they're both broken, and I don't think people ever really use them properly. They got treated it very well, but the focus is now shifting from being able to produce consistently to actually really improving our processes, and sort of standardizing what we're trying to getting a standard amount of maggots essentially, and hatchlings, which we're going to sell to farmers. So we're very excited. I'm very excited that we have these things almost sorted, as it were. So yeah, I hope that's encouraging for you if you're trying to produce BSF. It is possible to do. It's taken us quite a while to get to this stage, like probably 18 months, maybe no, 2 years probably of messing around with BSF. We started off on a very basic level, just a wooden trough with some maggots. Let's just try and see. I think we had one of these love cages there for breeding, and just stumbled along and improved slowly over time. And you know what we're trying to do, the whole point is it's not supposed to be like a large commercial process. What it's supposed to do is something that small holders, people with very little resource can actually do, and that's, I think, what we've managed to achieve in a relatively short period of time, because we could have thrown a lot of resource, energy, time. Well, we spent a lot of energy, but we could have spent a lot of money and bought really expensive bits of kit and all that sort of stuff, and succeeded. But we didn't want to do that, because it's supposed to be what's affordable and accessible at sort of a smallholder level in rural Uganda, where there's not a lot of money flying around, and we've managed to do that. So very pleased with that. So anyway, thanks for watching this video. I hope it encourages you, and we'll see you on the next one.